Thank you. It was. Always hard to lose. You know, there's only 2 teams that end their season with a win, that maybe 3, but you know, I want our kids to feel the sting of it, go home, sleep on it, wake up. We'll get together tomorrow and we'll start getting ready. But I will start working on ways to reflect for them on what a great year it was. Sad to say bye to our seniors and junior Sydney Stout because of the foundation that they left us. It's always hard, emotional, all of the things that we all know that bring with a season-ending game. But I thought TCU was unbelievable. I thought they were so clutch down the stretch. Okonkwo was maybe as hard to guard as any 6-foot kid we've seen all year. There's a reason that I think this should have been an NCAA tournament game, not NIT third round, but we thank the NIT for putting it on and letting us play. Both of us, I've got a lot of respect for Reagan, her staff, Hannah, Abby, and Brittany. They do a great job. And to lose to them's no. If you're going to lose, let's lose to those guys. And I hope they go win this whole thing now.
You guys were going to say it's no disgrace to lose to them? You sort of cut yourself off?
I don't think so. I mean, I think this is a team that, you know, we were in the debatable 8 together. I don't know. Maybe we're at home, we get a slight advantage, but it's a team I watch play all year long. They're a really, really good basketball team. And I think they showed that. What they are good at. They get Jordan Moore in foul trouble, a kid that's huge for them, and they just kept coming at us. They weathered our runs. And I just said it out loud in the media, or talking to Phil out there. I think the culmination of 37 games in Italy finally reached the point of diminishing returns. It's been a great thing for us to have gotten together for a long, long time. But it finally started to catch up to here when you start looking back and playing 37 games plus 2 exhibitions plus a bunch of games in Italy and extra days of practice. But I wouldn't trade it and I wouldn't change it. You know, not for one more win whatsoever. I hate it that we turned it over down the stretch. I think we turned it over 3 of the last 4 or maybe 4 of the last 5 possessions. And that's hard because that's not our identity. And up until that point, we hadn't turned it over many times. So I think we were just trying so hard. They were trying so hard to do the right thing, so you can't fault them. But I do think the longevity of 37 games and a trip and the extra practices did finally start to catch up with us about a week ago.
How do you feel like their size played against you? Because she said she thought her team played harder and stronger, but maybe the size worked against them at times.
We've learned to play against it. You know, if you're always 5'3", you're always 5'3", and they're not used to seeing it. I think at times it did, but I think it wore us down. The 16 offensive rebounds, and not just that number, but when they were crucial. They were clutch. I thought they were very tough in their press. We turned it over 2 or 3 times right around the basket that led to fouls. And yeah, I wouldn't disagree with her that they were stronger and tougher.
I mean, just what made her so difficult to guard?
Because she's a combination of speed and athleticism and quickness. We coached against her as a freshman when she was at USC, and we couldn't guard her then either. So she was our greatest concern. And, you know, when a kid that is your greatest concern puts up 36 and 14, we were putting 2 people in to double team her at the end of the game, and we couldn't even double team her to keep her from getting the ball. So, again, she was so clutch. So she is one of those kids that, like some of the kids that we have, are matchup problems, and she won that matchup.
Yeah, she came in averaging 13. I mean, what did she do to go off for 36?
Well, Jordan didn't play as much. You know, she got those 2 fouls. She only played 16 minutes, so they had to go to her. I think a lot of times those 2 guys play together. And, you know, obviously that's not our strength is around the basket, and I thought they did a good job of putting it in there. But, I mean, she errs from the foul line. You know, she gets there 13 times. She hits 4 out of 7 threes. It's not always just her size. It's her athleticism. And she's really, really become a great player. She was a good player ever since she came out. They just found a great way to use her. Reagan did.
I know free throws, that's been a big part of y'all's game, and they got you there tonight. Kind of what do you think happened there where they
yeah, we didn't get to the foul line early like we usually do. And, it's rare that in 37 games, I think we've only one other team's been to the foul line more times than we have in those games. We had to foul some late too. So some of that number's a little bit skewed because we were trying to foul. But I thought they got there when they needed to. But that goes to show when they get you spread out, they are very, very identifiable in what they do and so good in it. Lauren Hurd leads her team, does what she does. Kiana Ray does what she does. Jade Woods does what she does, and they just stay within what they do. And I think that's what teams that are playing this time of the year do, and they did it really well.
Coach, what do you think of the crowd atmosphere like tonight?
Again, it's the difference for us. We would have got beat 25 tonight if they hadn't have been here. No question. We'd have gotten beaten 25 points. When they jumped out on us, and we would have gotten beat. Instead, they brought us back, kept us in it, kept it close. The crowd has been the difference maker for us. We thought if we could get into the last 4 minutes that our adrenaline would carry us, and we just didn't give them any reason to cheer for us. We turned it over. If we would have made one of those in transition, the top would have come off this place. I thought we kept battling. We got it to 1 there a couple times, but they made their free throws. So our kids didn't quit. They kept playing down to the buzzer. But the crowd has been the difference for us in all these NIT games. And I hope that everybody will realize that and see that next year when we open with whoever we open with, what a difference it makes for our kids on a nightly basis, not just in the end of the year.
Coach, kind of back to that last, you guys did everything right. You're hitting some big threes, but have you ever been in a game where they just would not even relinquish one free throw from you?
Yeah.
You guys were doing what you're supposed to do, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like watching ourselves. That's what you're supposed to. 23 out of 25. They never gave us a one possession game. We get it to 2 possessions. We never could get it to a 1 possession when you worried about them kind of freezing, getting a little tight. I thought they went up there with a lot of confidence. We never could get the right kid fouled either. That's coaching, and I'll fix that this summer. We'll work on that. We got to do better on inbounds defense when we're trying to foul somebody. We don't foul a lot, so it was unfortunate. We looked up and we didn't have any team fouls when we needed to start fouling. So that milked a good 30 to 45 seconds off the clock. Probably should have started taking a few fouls a little bit earlier in the half, but the game was still close. So, we'll probably beat ourselves up as coaches more than we're going to let the team beat themselves up.
Like with the 3-shot foul, Colfrey had made the first 2 of those. Would you have thought of missing the third on purpose?
No, not with 8.7. It was right in that window. She was not trying to miss. If she made all 3 of them, we were going to try to get a quick steal because the jump ball arrow was still ours. We were going to try to tie it up, quick foul. Because, again, when you got Monk and Galden, we had gone 4 guards or 5 guards. We took Kiera and Taylor out there down the stretch, so we had 5 guards. As long as there was more than 5 seconds, we were going to try to play for a hope for a miss and keep it a 1-possession game. But if she'd hit all 3 of those, it would have gotten really interesting. Yeah.
We've talked a lot the last 2 weeks about the fans, the atmosphere building this thing. Just the ride that you guys went on the last couple of weeks and where this program is now compared to where it might have been had you not had this run.
I think we'll start to sense that in recruiting this summer. We're working really hard in that area. I think we'll find out exactly what it did mean. I know that we're sitting in a lot of homes, and I'm able to show them pictures of crowds that are not airbrushed men's crowds. Know what I'm talking about? They're women's crowds. They're games that just happen. They're video footage that you guys shoot for us, and it's invaluable. I think we'll start to sense that, with this in that area. I think you'll see it in our early crowds next year. I think you'll see it in how hard our kids will work this off season because they got just a taste of it. They all talked about the difference in our last regular season games, our last SEC games in this tournament. There's no question we captured a lot of new fans, and we'll work really hard this summer to make sure we keep them, that this isn't just the last thing. Our banquet will be outstanding. We've got so many things to celebrate. We do fun categories like the No Award, the No Yes Award, and the things like that. We're going to have a lot of nominees this year that we didn't have. And then, like you're saying, I don't think when the year started – playing into this late in March was even on anybody's radar. 22 wins. Jerry, where does that? There's a 24-win team and a 23-win team in the SEC years, I think. Y'all, I mean, I'm telling you, out of 29 years, go back and look that up. There's not many teams that have more than 22 wins. I think it's 2, maybe it's 3, but this group accomplished so much, and not only the number of wins, but who we did it against. Those teams, there's a lot of them still playing in the NCAA tournament. It will go down as one of those years that I remember for a long time.
Mike, you got 4 stars coming back. You talked before the WNIT that you felt you guys were a couple hurdles ahead. I mean, the future looks pretty good, it seems like.
Yeah, I'm excited. I will not. We normally take, and we'll take a lot of time off, but I won't take very much time off this year. My head's already spinning thinking about Ramirez, getting in some of those actions, getting Marquisha and Ginger and Michaela Daniels here, and Destiny Oberg. I think Oberg would have got 3 or 4 rebounds tonight. I think Marquisha Davis could have kept somebody from driving it tonight. I know Ramirez was dying to get out there. All y'all have to do is watch her on the bench to figure out how excited that kid is to play. We can't hold her down. She's leading the hog calls. She's everywhere. So I would anticipate a lot of expectations next year. We'll embrace them. We're scheduling incredibly hard schedule next year. We think we're going to be competitive, so we're scheduling an extremely hard schedule, really challenging ourselves. Because of the confidence we have in that group of kids coming back. Practices are going to be an absolute war because of the talent that's coming back and then the talent that's developed. You know, these kids that have stayed here with us and the kids that we brought in now, I think give us a roster that can compete with anybody in the SEC.
Mal, the last one to leave the court, just what has she meant to this program?
A legacy, stayed, could have left. When a lot of people were leaving in a day and time when it's the easiest thing to do is walk over and put your name in the portal. I just love saying that word, portal. It would have been so easy for her to do that, but she didn't. She stayed, and I'm not that I have anything to say about it, but those men's basketball players have been a part of what we've done all year long. You saw many of them were here at our game. Encouraged every one of them to do what Mal did. Be the part that stays, and it will be rewarded. Mal's not going to be able to walk around Little Rock without being recognized. She's not going to be able to walk around. Everybody in Fayetteville knows Mal. Everybody in the state of Arkansas knows Mal. And what Bailey has done as well. That's a kid that is given so many things that don't show up on a stat sheet. She sacrificed a lot as a senior. She did a lot for us as a junior. And she stayed. Raven coming in here for 2 years, giving us another Arkansas kid that understood what it meant to be a Razorback. And then, Sid, even though she's got 1 year of eligibility, is going to be transferring. The stuff that she did in practice, the things that she did for us, the sacrifices she made going from a walk-on to a scholarship back to a walk-on, she made sacrifices that we can't ever repay them. If we ever win a championship of any kind, I'll be buying those 4 guys rings. I will, all 4 of them, because we couldn't have jumped all those hurdles without the individual sacrifices they all made. Thank y'all, everybody, too, for a great year. Appreciate y'all's coverage. It was awesome.